Hi guys, and welcome back to another vlog. So I thought this weekend I'd do a fun little weekend vlog because we have a couple of fun things happening. Today Snip is going to her third ever cross-country training. If you haven't seen possibly my last video, where we went to Somerford Park Camp, then go check that out because that shows you her first ever cross country, which was really exciting. She did really well. She had a few chestnut mare moments, but overall was really good. So I wanted to go back quite early, just to, when you're introducing a horse to something brand new, it's important to kind of cement that knowledge and do it sort of little and often. So that's what we're doing with her today. She's going to Eaglemore cross country, which is somewhere I've never ever been before, but my trainer Tracy, who I've had for years, has got a clinic there today. So that's what we're doing with Snip. And then tomorrow, Percy has his first ever BD competition, so British Dressage. I joined the other week because basically in July there's hardly any eventing on. We're doing one unaffiliated because there is no BE anywhere near me this month. So yeah, we're going to do that instead. So I thought do a little bit of BD. I've not actually competed pure dressage with him since, I feel like it was January that we did that last. So yeah, it's going to be a busy weekend, a fun-filled weekend. It's Saturday morning. I've just got here. I'm going to go feed the horses now and put their rugs on because actually the weather forecast is thunderstorms and rain, which is just what you need riding a green horse on an open cross-country field. So yeah, I don't know what is going on with this weather. I am in a long-sleeved base layer, a gilet and then a coat. It is July. We have had no summer whatsoever. It's really cold. Anyway, all the horses are staring at me, so let's go get them fed. Welcome to feeding times at the zoo, where I have to balance as many hay nets and buckets on this thing, as well as a rug, apparently today. Yeah, let's go feed the ponies. There we go, happy ponies. Is that nice, Snippers? The others have been fed too. I just got to give them all the hay now and spray them. Pick the feet out, and these three are having rugs on. So that's the horses fed. I'm going to leave those for a little bit. Just felt a hoof pick in my pocket, need to go put that back. I'm going to go round to the house now and have a cup of tea because it is almost 9 AM and I still haven't had a cup of tea, which is actually illegal in Yorkshire. So I need to have my morning cuppa, and then we'll head back round to get the box ready. I do actually need to pop to the local equestrian store that does gas tanks because my hippo shower needs a new gas tank. Otherwise Percy's going to have a cold bath, and I don't think he'd be very happy with me for that. So I might do that quickly now because I think they open at 9. And that gives me enough time to get everything ready for cross country with Snip. So I brought the box round and I'm going to pop everything I need, Snippy's tack and all my cross country stuff in. I actually went cross country yesterday on Percy. just a little arena hire, cross country hire with Ellie. So all my stuff is actually in the stables because we went in Ellie's box yesterday. So I am also going to try and not fill my box to the brim, which I'm very good at, because we are also picking up Lucy, who's going to be in my lesson today. So Jade, her twin sister, works for us. So Jade's coming, Lucy's coming, so you'll be seeing double because they are identical twins. So yeah, we're going to go pick Lucy's mare up as well on the way. And yeah, just have a good old time. So let's get the box ready. So that's the box ready. All that's left to do now is make Snippy a feed for before she's ridden, because as you guys know, always give my horses feed before they're ridden to line their stomachs to prevent ulcers. So Snip is on Denji's Meadow Light with herbs, so that is what she's having. I don't change their feeds for like when they're doing stuff. So I'm literally just gonna get a quite large handful of this, pop it in there, maybe a bit more. So there we go. Handful, excuse my slightly dirty bucket, we have got some new ones, but and then this is some rather watery alpha beet that I've made up last night, and she gets a cup of that in there. So I make it quite watery when it's a bit warmer. And to be fair, the sun has come out, so maybe we might actually end up with some half decent weather. And then I just gave a little bit, if the tap would turn on, a little bit extra water, because obviously she is going to be working quite hard. And then I just mix that. There we go, and that's, pop that on the box, ready for her to eat before she's ridden. All aboard and ready to go. We'll see you at cross country. So we got to Eaglemore, we got warmed up, and then we got into the swing of things. Snip started very overwhelmed. Bearing in mind this is the second cross country course she's ever been on, and this is kind of spread over like 3 and 4 fields. So I think she was just like, what's going on? Like everyone was suddenly cantering round. The 2 horses we're with are not young horses, and they're quite used to this environment, whereas Snip is obviously not. And I was feeling a little bit stressed, like I just felt like we all started very quickly. So I think she definitely picked up on that as well. But anyway, we got into the swing of things. She was listening to me a little bit, and she was sort of doing what I asked, just not in the way that she normally does. So yeah, I think definitely we were both feeling a little bit like, I don't know, just a bit discombobulated, a bit like we hadn't really started properly. It was a bit of a strange one. But anyway, she started a little bit like not listening and a little bit wobbly and just a little bit all over the place. But then we did eventually get into our stride. So Snip actually did really, really well in the cross country eventually when she started listening. Then we did the water to finish, and this has got to me the most disgusting water I've ever been through. Like, it was, yeah, it just stank. It just wasn't that nice. So we didn't really do too much with that. But I did want her to do the drop into the water. And yeah, it was a really good session, in all honesty. Like, we definitely started a bit all over the place, but we ended really focused and she was completely listening to me. So I was really happy with that. I did really enjoy it. I just think that maybe we're ready for a few sort of cross-country hires where I can just focus on exactly what I want to do with her. So that's a plan for the next time we do cross country, but we're taking a little break from cross country now and just going to do a little bit of dressage, maybe a little bit of show with her over the next couple of weeks, because she's had quite an intense introduction to cross country recently. So that's it for now. Cross country wise, we will pick it back up in a couple of weeks time. So guys, it is later on now. I am at home. I am so tired. Honestly, I just haven't really stopped for the last week or so. It's just been crazy. I'm actually so glad that I've got dressage tomorrow and not like an event or something, because I think that would just do me in. Hey teddy bear. Hey. Hi. You had your tea? So yeah, we got back about 4ish from cross country training. I was really pleased with Snip. I think she's ready for us to do a hire in a week or so. Like, I'm trying to not do too much all at once, so maybe in a week or 2 weeks we'll take her to Winter's cross country near me, which has some a bit more like professional jumps, like the sort of thing you would see on a cross country course. Ted, silence. And I think maybe doing it on her own, she might, you know, it might be challenging because she can nap, but also I think it's important for her to understand that when you're doing cross country, it's very solo. What is this dog? But yeah, I really, really enjoyed it today. I'm now going to spend the afternoon editing some content for my clients. For anyone who doesn't know, I am a social media manager and content creator, not just in terms of everything you guys see on my channels, but I do a lot of brand management and brand content as well that you probably wouldn't even know is me. But yeah, I've got some work to do this evening, so we're going to do that. I'm going to wait for Chris to get home, have tea, and then just have a little bit of a chill because I am pretty tired. But yeah, it's been a great day, and then I need to get my whites together, check I've actually got a pair of white breeches clean, and get everything together for dressage tomorrow. Feels very odd getting ready for a competition and not having to wash a load of boots and things. I don't actually know if I washed a saddle pad. I'm sure I'll have a white saddle pad somewhere, hopefully. But yeah, I will see you guys in a bit. Morning guys, and welcome to Sunday. So I've just been and fed the horses, and I'm just going to go and fetch Percy now to have his bath because obviously he's going BD today and we can't do that looking a mess. So I've got my overalls on. These are the 3 Donkeys ones. Absolutely love these. I wore them all of winter and they're perfect for bathing as well. So I've got these on. I'm going to go grab him. It's just started raining, which is wonderful. And yeah, I'm going to bath him, and then Jade, who works for us, she's going to plait him up because she is a lot better at plaiting up than I am. So I need to go get a shift on so that he can get him all plaited up before we need to leave, and so that he can dry and everything. So yeah, my little wash bay station's all set up, so let's go get Percy. So I am extremely lucky with Percy. He tends to keep himself pretty clean. His hocks are always filthy, but that's really it, to be honest. He does keep himself pretty white for a grey, so I just gave him a quick bath. I never really have to give him much of one. It's really just get his tail clean, get his legs clean, and just wash him all over in general. But yeah, he's not the biggest fan of bath time, but he does stand there and he's pretty good for it. So after his bath, I dried him off and then left him in Jade's capable hands because she's going to plait him up for me today because I'm the worst platter in the world. And I took the box out to go and put some fuel in it and then to get that filled up, ready to go to dressage, which was strange because normally I need 1,001 things and I literally just needed a saddle and some riding boots, and that was it. So Percy is now ready. Jade's plaited him all up for me. I'm now ready, but it is chucking it down and thundering. So, regretting my decisions to do dressage today, aren't we, Percy Pig? Yes. Oh. I'm going to turn Snippy out now and then head off early because Robin is competing and I want to see her, I want to watch her prelim. But yeah, it's not nice. It's really not nice. So miraculously, by the time we actually got to Epworth, the weather was a lot better. Like, it just seemed to be a thunder shower instead of a full-on storm. And I was really surprised how quiet it was. Like, there wasn't actually that many entrants to the BD. I think my class was actually one of the bigger ones as well. But it was a really nice atmosphere. Like, it was very, very quiet. But I actually think that didn't help Percy. Like, Percy he's so used to eventing, he quite likes a big atmosphere. It kind of helps him get in the zone, it helps him get his blood up a bit. So to warm up, he was rather lazy and a little bit switched off. So I did do my best to try and get him switched on. And he's kind of got a little bit of a habit of tucking his head in and going a bit tense at the moment. So that's something we're going to work on in training. But I've not actually done that much dressage training recently. He has a weekly lesson with Tori Moore, but I think maybe we just need to do a little bit more basics because we've been working on movements and things, but I just feel like he is just carrying a lot of tension at the moment. He's absolutely fine and he's doing really well. I just think that perhaps as well, being in a new environment and doing something different like BD, I was possibly a little bit more tense, which, you know, it's going to happen. But it was really nice that I had some friends in my class, people I knew there. They've also just started BD. Also, yes, I didn't have a clean saddle pad, so we're using this one that I've had to be around in all week. But we will ignore that. So here we go. Percy was coming a little bit sort of rounder without tucking his head in too much, and was feeling a little bit more forward by this point. I also didn't realise at BD you can A, ride with a whip, and B, have a caller, because at B you can't do either of those things. So with him feeling really lazy today, I probably should have kept a whip for the test. Yes. And had I have known I could have had a caller, I would have done 2 tests. I'm terrible at learning more than 1 test because I will just muddle them up. But had I had a caller, I think it would probably have been better because he likes to do 1 test and then relax. But yeah, that's how the 1 went anyway. So here we go, time to get into the test. He came out actually really nicely. He's a little bit high in the head carriage, and he does tend to tense up when you first go in. But I'm going to read you the judges' marks as we go through. So A, entering working trot and proceed down the centre line without halting. We got a 7 for this and no comments. He entered really nicely. He felt like he was tracking up quite well. And then we track right and then working trot up to A. Again, we got another 7 for this. A little more over his back. As I say, Percy tends to tense and get a little tight, which is actually the next comment we got. So the first movement was a 3-loop serpentine. He tends to do quite a nice serpentine. He's really well balanced. I just could already feel by this point, like you can see how much leg I'm having to add here. He was very lazy. That was one of the running themes of today, just extremely lazy for Percy. But the only comment on the same time was that he was a little tight. And then in this corner, we transitioned to canter, which I thought was quite a nice upwards transition. And he got a 7 for that and for his 20-metre circle here. The only comment we got was more jump into the canter. I suppose you just want it a little bit more forward. And then you've got to do your working canter B-A-E. And they did say about losing the rhythm B to F. So he went to break there, which is why he suddenly shot forwards. And then we have to do a half circle right, 15 metres here, returning to the track at K. So it's kind of like a teardrop shape. And he did break, and then because I corrected it quickly, he got a 5 for that. K transitioned to trot, and then working trot round to A, and I got a 6.5 for that. I just want to see it a bit balanced. I always find once we've gone back, it kind of just unsettles him a little bit. And then serpentine on the other rein, which we got a 7 for again. So it's quite a uniform test in that it was the same on each rein pretty much, and then we go into canter in this corner, and for the transition this time we got a 6.5 and the 20-metre circle, with comment a little tight in the frame, then more self-carriage. So he did come a bit up and a little bit tight, and then he kind of dropped on his circle, which he tends to do because I kind of just like yield him out on a circle. This I thought was a horrible canter. I don't know how we got a 6 for this, to be honest with you, because again he went to break and just kind of shot forward as soon as I put my leg on. He just wasn't very happy in the canter today. He wasn't switched on at all. He was really lazy, so I was having to work really, really hard. And my half circle with the return to the track, so my teardrop, we got a 6.5 for. And then the transition to working trot, I got a 7 for. How? I don't know, because he kind of just ran into it. And then KXM, we were supposed to change the rein and show some medium. It wasn't his best. It was a 5, and it said need to show clear and medium, and that we lost energy. We really did. That was the theme of today. And And then we got transition to medium walk, a 7, and then a 7 for his walk. He always gets a decent score for his walk. He has a very sort of forward walk. And then change the rein in free walk on a long rein. Just said he needed even more stretch and over track. This is Percy's stretch. Like, to get his nose any lower is kind of impossible out. He'll do it at home, but I've kind of struggled a bit more getting it out, so that's something we're working on. And then medium walk and transition to working trot, we got a 7 for, and again, he always does a really nice walk. And then the final movement is between K and E to do a half circle right 20 metres diameter and allow the horse to stretch. Again, another one that we don't like, the stretchy ones. But we did get a 6 for it, and she just said he needs to stretch a little bit more. He will naturally carry himself quite high. And then turn down the centre line, and at G we are going to halt immobility salute, and we actually got a 7 for that. So Percy actually got 64.4% for this test, and he came 3rd in the class, which honestly in itself was a bit of a miracle. The judge left some really nice comments. She said, lovely horse with correct paces, needs to maintain the forward energy and suppleness through the back and neck to aid relaxation, and he has an uphill tendency, which we know. So they're all things we'll work on in training. As I say, I know he can do such a better test, but that's what we got on the day. So it is later on. I have been rubbish at the vloggy thing today, so apologies. I am now absolutely freezing, which is the reason I've got my dressing gown on in the middle of the day, because it's July and I am so cold. What do you think, Ted? Are you so cold? Are you so cold? Why do you come over when I'm vlogging? Go down in a minute, because old people will hear it's your snuffles. Go down. Anyway, yes. So today was a bit of a mixed bag. Like, I had a lot of fun and I enjoyed the BD experience. I just knew we could do such a better test. Like, it was, for us, that was quite a, I don't want to say poor test, but there were moments in it that just weren't stereotypical Percy. Like, he warmed up okay and then wasn't really listening to me, and I think what I need to remember is he's so used to eventing, and when you get Percy to an event, there's a million things going off. You know, there's 100 horse boxes, there are people running everywhere, you've got 20 odd horses in the dressage warm-up, there's a cross-country course going off, there's tannoys, there's a huge environment and atmosphere, which he thrives off. Like, you take Percy to an event and he's like in the zone, right, I know what I'm doing, I'm in my mode, and he's got his blood up, he's ready. And I think we got to dressage today, bearing in mind he normally events at Epworth, he's only ever evented at Epworth, as in, like, we've only ever gone to Epworth to event, he's evented other places, but like every time we've been to Epworth it's been for a one-day event. There was no atmosphere. There were literally 6 boxes there today. Like, there weren't a lot of people competing, there were 2 other horses in the warm-up. It was very quiet, so he didn't have an atmosphere to sort of get his blood up and get his energy up as he normally would. And then I gave him the same warm-up I normally do for dressage for eventing. So that is literally working on suppleness, because what he tends to do is he'll go and he'll get a little bit stiff in the neck, maybe a little bit tense. So we're working on transitions, suppleness, leg yields, things like that. I don't think that's what we needed to focus on today. I think what we needed to focus on in our warm-up was getting him in front of my leg, getting him listening, getting him paying attention. And it just kind of didn't happen, to be honest. And then, yeah, there were moments in the test that were really, really nice, and it was a fairly accurate test. That he was just very, very chill. Like, he was borderline lazy, which is not Percy at all. Like, normally Percy is not really a lazy horse. He can be a little bit, like, not dead to the leg, but he can ignore your leg sometimes, which is why I always ride him in spurs to compete, because I'm very aware that, like, he will kind of just, like, ignore my leg if he can. Which is something we've been working on in training. Like, I only ever actually ride them in spurs for competitions now. We don't ride in them at all for training, so that when I am at a competition, there's something different about my leg. Ted, not in the vlog, go. And so I've got a little bit more oomph. I've got something else in the sort of tools. I also didn't realise at BD that you can A, carry a whip, and B, that you can have a caller, like, because you have neither of those things at BE. So possibly carrying a whip would have solved all my problems, because Percy's a lot more forward with a whip. And also if I knew I could have a caller, I'd have done novice 1 and novice 2, so that would have given me time to have assessed the situation, done another warm-up, and then got him more forward and listening more in the second test. I always find if you do 2, then the second one always goes better. But anyway, we live and we learn. Like, it's been a really good learning curve. It's been a really good experience. And yeah, I just think we just need to go about it slightly differently, look at his warm-up, look at his training for it, because to ride him at a dressage on its own and to ride him at an event is like riding 2 very, very different horses. As I say, he was just a little bit lazy. He broke from his canter. He never does that, really. Like, he has done previously in training, but never really at an event. Apart from the one time I broke canter because I thought I'd gone wrong. And I asked the judge if I'd gone wrong. But other than that, so yeah, slightly disappointed because I knew we could both have done it a lot better, but also really, really happy with the comments. The judge was really lovely. Really liked him, you know, said that he clearly had everything there, he just didn't have the impulsion today, which, you know, we all have an off day, maybe he just wasn't feeling it today. He's also had a bit of a long day, like I'd bathed him and plaited him this morning, which we don't normally do on the day of going out, so who knows, but we will definitely have a different game plan. I've already booked for Tracy to come out and give me a lesson this week, and we're going to work on impulsion and getting him in front of my leg. Also going to just reassess everything. Like, he's very fit. Like, I know for a fact he's fit. Like, that boy runs a cross country on a 1-day event, finishes, and like, he could go again. Like, he's that fit. So it's not a fitness issue, and he goes out and does his canter and gallop work every 4 days pretty much. But it's more, I think, getting him switched on and listening, and it's the little Percy brain we need to get on board a little bit more for the dressage. But I did really enjoy it. I would recommend BD. Like, it was such a chilled environment, very, very different to BE, very, very different, but a great experience. We'll definitely be booking some more BD, and I'm just going to keep his workload really varied. So the reason we did BD this month is because there's literally like no eventing on. We're going to do one unaffiliated event just to keep our eye in, which will be Buckminster, which is a Pony Club 1-day event, unaffiliated. So we're running that end of the month, and that's all he's got. So that's why we decided to mix it up a bit, do a bit of BD this week. I've put him in for some unaffiliated show jumping next week in the 80 and 90, which will be his first 90 show jumping, so that'll be really good. So yeah, I'm trying to keep it varied to keep him interested as well. Given the choice, he would go eventing every weekend, like, he lives for it, but we need to work on other things too, and it's good for me to get used to doing different things. It's good for him. But yeah, it was definitely a learning curve, but that is why I do this. You know, it's my first ever year of doing affiliated anything. I've never ever gone affiliated dressage or eventing, so I'm just bringing you guys along on the journey with me, really. But yeah, really enjoyed the day, really enjoyed the weekend, to be fair. 2 very, very different days on 2 very, very different horses, that's for sure. Like, Snippy is a firecracker at the minute. She's just forward, forward, forward. And then Percy Piglet is just having a bit of a chilled summer. So yeah, watch this space. I will make sure that I film my training so you guys can see the progress. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you soon for another video. Bye guys!